pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Why Is That. And now here today on Why Is That, this is probably a time where the questions are indeed going to start pouring in a little more often. Well, a lot of them are actually. But like I've said before, I'm only going to have a certain number of questions ready for me to answer here for the rest of Season 2 of Why Is That. So let's just get started here with question number 44. But this one in particular is actually going to allow me to talk a little bit more about how some of my vlogs happen to take place in some of the same locations. Because down here, this screenshot basically asks me, why is that you recycle some of the same locations that you generally use for your vlogs? And so, well, here's my answer to that. Simply put, my vlogs can only take place in so many locations found throughout this whole area, this whole county, this whole state, this whole, well, section of the country, this whole country itself, continent, hemisphere, planet, universe, and so on. And here's the main reason why I happen to take place in vlogs in some certain places around here, because after all, because of what we're dealing with right now, it can be kind of dangerous to try and venture out, especially when you're all alone. Unless, of course, you have something to arm yourself with. These are, in fact, the times that are going to be so horrific that you just have no idea what is truly going to take place. But you know what, though? I'm ready for it. I'm ready for these things as much as possible. I'm ready for everything out there that could possibly spill out because of all these things that we're trying to deal with. I'm ready for whatever comes at me at this point. But you know what? That's not entirely important, because as long as I stay indoors and sometimes stay out of sight from, well, the public eye, then this way I can actually ensure that I'm going to be protected at all costs. And after all, we are expected to have crap tons of new things taking place here, especially those that are associated with crimes. Simply put, this pandemic has caused so much uproars and so much complications that are spawning in left and right, up and down, dead center, back at you, all over the place. It's done as much damage to our businesses, our favorite places to shop, our favorite places to go eat, and our very own lives as we know it. It's destroyed lots of things, and we can't, unfortunately, bring them back. But you know what, though? Considering the fact that, well, Kaiju Force Neo is in fact a more, well, worldwide thing as of now, I shouldn't have to worry about it. If it gets sabotaged one part of the world, then another part of the world is always going to be there to help me out. But, okay, that's not exactly the point here, and I'm once again getting a little off track here, so I will apologize for that. But anyways, there are actually quite a few areas in which that I have recorded vlogs in, including, well, that couch that is basically to the left of me, as well as, well, most parts outside, especially during the summertime, because after all, everyone's got to get themselves a good amount of vitamin D. But for the most part, whenever I'm going outside, I'm usually going in places that doesn't have a lot of background, or doesn't have a lot of people around, or cars. Basically, leaking out private information on the internet is a huge, huge dispute. I'd much rather not take that risk, nor would I willing to find out what could happen if I ever had that problem. So that's pretty much what the end of that part is. But anyways, going back to vlog locations, in terms of all outside, I happen to go out in places like the deck or the front yard, basically not only towards where the house is, but also I tend to go on like the side areas, the alleyways that are going nearby, where the trash cans go and around here. And in terms of, well, indoors, I happen to go to quite a few places. There's a room with a giant wall of tiles. There's also a room with several paintings in it. And there's a few other rooms here and there that I go. Sometimes I go in here too. But other times, especially more, well, recent times, I have also used the living room. in which I've set my phone down on a coffee table nearby and just simply had it pointed towards me. Basically have it angled a little bit so this way I can get my whole, well, upper part in the frame pretty much without having a lot cover the top. It does sometimes happen, but I try to make sure not to let that happen as much as possible for the most part. Otherwise, there's also my own room in which I have my phone leaning up against my laptop's brim and then just simply put, having myself recorded while sitting in a gaming chair. One that I bought from the Black Friday sales at a home in Office Depot, pretty much. But you know what though? That's pretty much just a little summarization of some of the locations that I actually use. There have been plenty of other spots that I've also gone to. Even outside of the state of Wisconsin, I've gone and recorded some vlogs here and there. But I guess here's the real point to it. Now, the reason why I recycle some of these places as well, not just because of all the many things that could possibly take place outside, but also what could happen inside. I mean, there's just no telling what could happen. And I don't normally like to vlog during the nighttime because, well, I do like to ensure quality plus quantity. Large amounts of videos, all uploaded with HD clarity and a 1080p sort of frame, as well as a frame rate of around 60 to 100 FPS minimum. But of course, many people out there would in fact want me to find out like a lot of other places I could try, so it is a possibility, but it's not always possible. There were even times, especially this whole year alone so far, where I've also vlogged myself while I was driving. Yeah. Especially if you don't recall back in March, where I had simply put broken my own land speed record of 91 miles per hour and got up to around 97, 98 even. The needle wasn't really pointing like that good, nor was it that accurate, so I just couldn't really be sure of it. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got to say about that there, and that whole thing in general about why vlog locations happen to repeat themselves. But just so you know, I'm still going to be using most of those same places, though, like I've said, I might actually consider trying other spots if I can. But until then, it pretty much is what it is. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.